Oh, welcome everyone to Todd and Erin Morning Show. Okay, women do that all the time.
You're so creepy.
I know. That's why you married me.
I don't do that.
Yes.
Don't start, especially not on camera. That is so weird.
That's the danger of doing a live show, Erin. Anything could happen. So anyway, this is. Let me give you an example. This one too. Let me give you an example of our life right now. Yesterday, Zoe went to the doctor's.
Just shutting the door. Go on.
Oh, she went to the doctor's, and then Erin took her to the hospital last night. This is our lifestyle right now, currently, during our life. I don't actually have all the details about my daughter.
That's so sad.
And we're married, and seriously,
There's a lot of things that happen.
Crossed paths this morning as she was sleeping with Zoe because she's sick and she's 6, and so we get up and we get ready and kind of, and then come to work. And I mean like bumping into each other.
Like lovingly versus
right.
big, yeah.
And then we show up here and then we have to get all our work done, like we planned this. And so anyway, the finale of this, when you got home, she got home after I went to bed. What was the final thing with
The
Zoe?
doctor yesterday claimed it was allergies, not Zoe's usual doctor, and nothing worked on her. All the medications we tried.
Because she was coughing every 15 seconds.
Literally. So to the point where she would throw up and her lips would turn blue, which to me seems bad.
All right,
as a parent. That's like a bad stage.
Okay, I know this part.
So up at Primary Children's, who are the most beautiful, we really should have like a room named after us, don't you think? The Todd and Erin apparently are suck parents' room, something like that.
Well, we sure paid them enough money.
Because our kids are up there all the time. But yeah,
Right.
so Zozo, I took Zozo up. It's not.
I know this part.
It's
Go
not
ahead.
asthma. So it's this. They believe it's this incredibly random, low-lying pneumonia that just sort of stays under the radar for like 2 months before it flares violently, which is pretty much what happened with Zoe.
I knew up to that point, but I didn't know the flare part.
It's a flare, yes.
And so what is she on?
So I had to put her. They put her on steroids last night, and then she's got antibiotics for the next 3 days.
Okay.
And they said we'll see a difference by the second day if it's helping. But
Am I a bad
she coughed
dad
a tenth last night of what she usually
That I'm
does.
just finding this out?
Well, we got home at like almost
do we
midnight.
have an extremely active lifestyle?
That's what it is. It's our active lifestyle. No, but I got
So,
to sleep with Zoe,
there
which
you go.
is really kind of like a violent encounter. She's a flailer. So it's more like she turns over and it's like, ah!
Ow.
And it's like
You witnessed that.
She got me across the chin like 3 times. And then she had her foot in my face. It was like wedged against my lower jaw, so I'm a little sore this morning. But I didn't feel like I could wake her up because it had been a rough night.
Morning cam.
I'm almost thinking I should now, out of spite.
Just wake her up
Yeah.
whenever you can.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did we already do the mountain cam? I think we did. No, there it is. Oh, it's the drone shot today. No, that's the
gonna be-
mountain. Yeah, that's the
That's mountain cam.
cam.
We're going to do drone later, but isn't that beautiful? See, you need something calm today to make you feel more relaxed about how psychotic
I
things
want you
can
to. I
be.
want you to look at all the trees and the bushes and the grass, and I want you to think about this tomorrow, when they're covered with snow, and they're all going to be going, no.
You know, Mother Nature, you manage to drain the joy out of any moment, don't you? Really? It's mid-May and it's going to snow tomorrow.
I cannot believe that.
You're just mean.
I'm not happy with who's mean.
Mother Nature.
All right, so Mother's Day was on Sunday, and I got
Very
some
nice
stuff.
day.
I got some stuff on. I made you guys dinner. I made your mom dinner and your sister, all moms, and made you dinner and stuff. But Erin had the most unusual Mother's Day, and so
Oh, no, I think most moms do these kind of things.
I documented it.
And Sunday's a busy day for us because it's like that one day we have to get all those little things done around the house, and Mother's Day is no exception.
This is how it started. She mowed the grass
Well, I needed to.
on Mother's Day.
Yeah. Yeah. So, doesn't every
I
mom?
think the crew should be really impressed by my camera shot there.
Oh, right.
Because it's like, right? They're saying it right now.
Thank you, Brandon. We appreciate the love.
Because it was a set camera and grass level, which was really cool.
Isn't this what all mothers do for Mother's Day?
I don't.
And see, I even did the nice diagonal stripe, which I feel really good about.
Right. And then you were working on the car.
Well, I had to.
Because my alternator was out.
Yeah, and you were leaking some oil, by the way. I think you should check that if you take a look underneath on the rear
I
panel.
appreciate you doing the work on
Yeah,
it.
that was kind of an issue.
And besides, look at you.
I couldn't make it reach, and maybe if you'd helped me instead of playing with the camera.
I was holding the camera. I didn't want to get in the way of your joy.
Really? Is that where we're going?
And then there was that sink issue.
Well, there was a leak.
And the hot flannel.
Oh, thank you. It was my Seattle grunge look. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it.
Really nice.
Yeah, but we've had that leak forever, and it was starting to sprout mold. And so I
remember I walked by and you said, chop, chop, let's go.
Oh, so I chopped.
She did some gardening.
Well, no, it's like we had to get all that stuff out for trash pickup, so,
My wife's actually kind of butch,
It only took a while to get those roots out because they've only been there for like 50 years. So that was good that, you had the camera there instead
of... But then, let's show this. This is the actual muscle of my wife.
Zoe was helping me, and I think that's important.
Look at you.
At one point she said mush, which was like, thanks, honey. Mush, Mom. Yeah, that was super humorous.
Oh.
So it's an average Mother's Day.
There you go.
I think it's what most moms do.
So, I hope yours went well as well. Steve Harvey is in the news.
Now, this is the Miss Universe...
Mistake guy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so it's not for that. He's coming back with a show. He's actually pretty funny. He's a funny guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he has that dead stare when they do I think it's Family Feud.
Yeah, it's Family Feud.
Yeah, and so they're back for another season, and so Steve wrote a little memo to his staff, which hopefully will give us some ideas.
Oh, good.
Would you?
Sure.
Just pick it up.
Are they some thought starters?
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'd like you all to review and adhere to the following notes and rules for season 5 of my talk show.
Yep.
There will be no meetings in my dressing room. No stopping by or popping in. No one. Do not come to my dressing room unless invited. Do not open my dressing room door. If you open my door, this is in capitals, expect to be removed. My security team will stop everyone from standing at my door who have the intent to see or speak to me. I want all the ambushing to stop now. That includes TV staff. You must schedule an appointment.
Page 2.
We
should do this.
I have been taken advantage of by my lenient policy in the past. This ends now. No more! Do not approach me when I'm in the makeup chair unless I ask to speak with you directly. Either knock or use the doorbell. He has a doorbell in his dressing room?
Evidently.
Okay. I am seeking more free time for me throughout the day.
Little me time.
Do not wait in any hallway to speak to me. I hate being ambushed. Make an appointment. I promise you, I will not entertain you in the hallway, and do not attempt to walk with me. If you're reading this, yes, I mean you. Everyone, don't take offense to my new way of doing business. It's for the good of my personal life and my enjoyment. Oh, thank God, Steve. Because I was really worried about your personal life and your enjoyment.
Yeah.
And I've never met anyone in TV who had sit-down meetings. You basically grab somebody by the throat when they're passing you in the hallway.
Yeah.
And what's so special about his dressing room? Does he have like slaves that are gently waving and like the female love slaves of like the 50s who had the big, rich lipsticks and the really cool dresses, and they'd be fanning things.
Do you guys have a minute? Like, can I?
Yeah.
Do I need to make an appointment?
Make an appointment. This is for personal life and enjoyment.
What is wrong with you?
Yes.
And he looked us in the eyes too.
Right? I know. And he didn't bring any grapes because Steve Harvey already knows you need grapes and soothing drinks in order to help relax with your personal life and enjoyment.
Of course, that's not true for us because there was Steve Harvey's. Ours is, can you please punch us less? That's ours.
Really, that's all that matters.
Where are we? What are we doing? Oh, information's coming up.
Oh, yeah, we got to go to Daisy in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. Of course, this is brought to you by Columbus Travel. Columbus Travel has a great weekly newsletter that has all their flash sales like in hotels and airfare, and so you can fit in a last-minute vacation, even if you thought you couldn't afford one, at columbusvacations.com. Executive Transportation can take you on a nice run to the airport or for a fabulous evening out. You can talk to March and schedule something lovely at executiveutah.com, or All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Despite the snow tomorrow, it is May, and eventually it will be warm enough to want to use your sprinklers.
Maybe you need to fix your heater.
It might be a good time to give him a call. allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, what's going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Here are some of the stories making headlines today on Gephardt Daily. Firefighters in Salt Lake City spent the night mopping up hotspots after a 4-alarm blaze on the city's west side Monday. The fire broke out around 2:30 p.m. and fully engulfed 2 homes near 141 South, 900 West. 65 firefighters battled the blaze for close to 2 hours before bringing it under control. The fire destroyed both homes in addition to 2 cars and a couple of sheds. Property damage is expected at $300,000. The cause of the fire is under investigation. There were no reports of injuries. Police have arrested a suspect in the Easter weekend homicide of Matthew Holt. 35-year-old Tooele resident Jeffrey Ray Shepard was booked into the Salt Lake County Jail Monday. He's expected to be charged with first-degree felony murder, first-degree aggravated robbery with serious bodily injury, and second-degree felony tampering with evidence. Police say video taken of Shepard's car placed him at the murder scene. Sione Vaitai, the man wanted for stabbing his father and young sister during a heated argument in Sandy Saturday night, has been arrested in St. George. Police say Vaitai was spotted Monday morning leaving a home he was known to frequent. He led cops on a short chase and managed to escape 2 pit maneuvers before being taken into custody. And now a quick look at our crappy, fun-murdering forecast. You could expect mild temperatures in the 60s today under partly sunny skies, but tomorrow officially blows chunks. Wednesday temps will dip more than 20 degrees with a rain-snow mix along the valley floors and up to a foot of snow in the mountains. The demonic weather pattern holds through Friday with more snow and rain expected. Highs only hit 52. That's it for now. More headlines 24/7 at gebhardtdaily.com.
All right, so it's funny that, thank you, Daisy. You work in a newsroom with news people when the emergency equipment goes by and you hear sirens, because everyone who works here goes like this.
I know. You can hear the pitter-patter of little feet going down the stairs.
They're going, my camera.
I know. They can't stop
go.
themselves. It's awesome
And
to
by the
watch.
way, thank you for the forecast, but 45 is not a high.
No. Not in mid-May.
It's
No.
not a high.
Hey, we wanted to thank you guys for being so amazing and following us on the morning stream because it was new, and so you can find us on Facebook and YouTube and SoundCloud and getpartdaily.com, but we didn't think you'd actually do that. So the fact that there are a lot, like
Tens of thousands.
100,000 a week,
Yeah.
means a lot to us. So we
frightening.
wanted to say thank you. So we have an amazing dinner for 4 at Christopher's Steakhouse. You can go, you can bring friends, you can catch up with people you haven't seen forever.
So good.
You can snarf down the most amazing steaks in North America, and we're going to drive you like a little princess with executive transportation in one of their sweet Escalades, so you don't have to worry about a designated driver. If you would like to enter to win, all you have to do, my
Enter
friends.
twin?
Enter to win.
Oh, enter to win.
Very funny. All you have to do is go to one of our Facebook pages. That would be Todd and Erin, Get Part Approved, or Get Part Daily. Just make a comment underneath the show today, like the page, and share, and you're in.
We're
And
gonna
we
pick
draw every
someone.
Friday.
Yeah, okay. Thank
Life
you
is
very
good.
much. I'm about to talk about something that you're not interested in, and I am extremely excited about.
All right.
It has to do with nature.
Okay.
It has to do with a certain whale. Let's take a look at that whale, shall we?
Oh, the narwhals. I love them. I
Yeah.
love their little unicorn spears. Aren't they beautiful?
Most live in Canada, about 70% of the population.
Aren't they pretty?
They're skittish, they're shy, they're bashful. But no one has ever figured out what that long
Their unicorn
is for.
spear.
No one knew.
Beautiful.
No one knew. And they thought, they take it and they use it to stir up the mud and eat mollusks.
I was thinking maybe fighting with each other like the guys. Like,
Maybe it's like a moose does, right? With
yeah.
a big thing. Yeah, no. They actually found out what it's for, and they did this with drones.
Explain what the narwhals
Once
use it for.
again, drones working for good, not evil, like
Okay.
our drone. And it was going overhead very quietly, and it watched as the whale actually did the thing with its thing.
So what does it use the unicorn horn
We'll
for?
demonstrate for you, shall we?
All right.
Let's
How are you
pretend that you are a narwhal. Okay, hold it to your head like that, right there. Okay, down
Really?
low, but I can't see it there. Down like that. All right. Now let's figure. They eat like cod and stuff. So let's use this to represent a cod, shall we? And that
This
whale.
is really the best reenactment you could come up with. Really? This is the best you could come up with.
Eyes, gill, dorsal, tail. Yes.
Okay,
All right. So
I'm working with
you're
you.
gonna you're gonna eat the codfish, right? And the codfish. No, you can't. You can't catch it, can you? No. You know why? Because this is now used to do this.
Oh, they're smacking them and stunning them? That's what they use it for?
And then they eat the fish.
That's what they use
And
it
it's so
for.
cool. And they show in the video, and all he does is go, tunk, and it stuns the fish, and then he eats it.
That's hysterical.
No one's ever seen that before.
That is absolutely hysterical. Well, I love narwhals. I think they're magical, so
Yeah.
I can give up a couple of cod for them. That's just fine.
I'm wondering now, is that what unicorn do too? They go around and they little kids.
Well, we've never known what the unicorns used it for, so at least we might have an idea.
Stun them.
We just follow a trail of stunned toddlers. And,
Right.
Okay, I
Right.
can understand that.
All right, Columbus. If you want to travel, you need to go to Columbus Travel.
Okay, the reason why you go to Columbus Travel is number one, I know that everyone goes on the internet, you find your own deals, and they're actually saying, yeah, go ahead, go on the internet, take a look at what you like, and then give us a call and see if we can save you money. Because here's the deal. They actually did some studies, and the average vacationer saved $452 by going through Columbus Vacations versus just going through somebody else. So if they're trying to do it on your own, you could, but you're going to save a lot more money going through a travel agency and specifically Columbus. So right now they've got some amazing cruise deals going on, and all you have to do is go to columbusvacations.com. columbusvacations.com. You can totally hook yourself up. They will give you all the latest deals, and if you have any questions, it's really just a simple phone call. columbusvacations.com. Why are you giggling?
I always like the shot of the guy drinking out of the coconut, and he kind of looks around the beach like, I should have brought a girl.
This drink is delicious, but I'm alone.
This is a wonderful coconut, but really should have brought a girl with me. All right, coming up next. Texting and driving. I'm going to tell you something good. And a guy tries to walk on water.
Merit Medical. Why work for fast food wages when you can start at Merit for a whole lot more? Merit Medical. Great products, great people, a great company. Learn more at merit.com/careers. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com. The Todd and Erin morning stream is actually available anytime at gepharddaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
While it lasts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all going to be covered with death
Snow.
tomorrow.
Death and
White
ice.
death.
Yeah.
Pretty much white
And then
death.
everyone is going to forget how to drive again. Right. Something is cool that someone invented in New York City, and it's called a textilizer.
A textilizer.
Is that right?
Okay.
It's like drunk driving. You take
have a
breathalyzer,
breathalyzer.
and this is actually going to be coming out next year. They had a lot of court stuff. It's exactly what it sounds like. If there's an accident, right now, if you're in an accident, you or your insurance company basically have to go subpoena the records of your phone.
Because they want to see if you were like playing Pokemon Go while driving at 20 miles an hour.
Right.
Because
And
that's
so-
not autobiographical
But
at all.
it takes months and months and months and months to do that. And so they want to step up the process. And so people in New York came up with a program that scans your phone and finds out if you've been punching or swiping.
Wow, really?
Right. And the big thing was, privacy issues and stuff, which is good.
Valid.
It's
Very
good to
valid.
know. But it doesn't access your data. It just finds out about screen activity.
Oh, so it just shows if there was actual activity during the driving period.
Right.
It doesn't really tell you what the activity was. It
Right.
just
So if you went off the road and went through a fruit stand or a glass factory, which happens never, your insurance company would then look at your record and know that you were distracted by, I don't know, fruit. They would
How
look.
about a fruit stand and a glass
A
factory?
fruit stand encased in glass, because the watermelons are a classic move in a chase. And so it goes through, what's in my coffee? My fish is on my coffee. Where was I going?
I'm not clear, but I'm here with you. It's a long walk, but I'm still here.
So I think that's cool. So they can find out, boom, right away. They'll know if that, and then your insurance company can act accordingly. If it's your fault or not.
And especially the police, I think that would be a big deal, especially if someone's injured in the accident. They're going to want to know that. So that's a lot quicker. That's really interesting.
I think it's really cool. And because they made it so it doesn't affect your privacy anymore, I think they're coming out with it next year.
No more steering with my knees and texting back to my girlfriend on Twitter, huh?
You don't do that, do you?
That's not autobiographical.
Shake your head
Not at all.
convincingly.
Not at all.
That would
at
hurt. All right.
What was this about TV dinners?
Once again, something I found interesting that you're probably not going to like.
You have a great setup for stories.
I do.
You have a way of making people super excited to listen to you.
In 1960, how long did it take to make dinner? According to this study and people's journals and things like that, it took 4 hours to cook, serve, and clean up a dinner. 4 hours. Now the difference on this is the fact that it took 4 hours, and then it talks about like TV dinners and what that did, and it took it down to 45 minutes. And then they talk about women now having time to actually go and study and have a career and get out of the house and get diabetes and overweight, men too, because the food it was processed food again.
Oh yeah, so it made it a lot easier.
Salt, a lot of salt, a lot of sugar and stuff like that. But Swanson actually was the company that made for the military. They made frozen dinners and dehydrated dinners.
Yeah.
So when the war was over, they were bummed. And so they decided to do this for everybody else, and that's where they came up with it.
That's so interesting. So that was the first little dessert, was the apple and peach slices.
In 1960, yeah.
Didn't you tell me they did it based on portion size so that they could make everything cook together?
Yeah, you had a certain amount of rice and a certain amount of turkey and a certain amount of...
Okay, that is a lie, because there was never a fried chicken dinner that I did as a child where the chicken was always horribly overcooked and dry. Horribly. I was always betrayed by my chicken.
I stand corrected. The interesting thing I saw, though, was the fact that washing machines didn't save any time.
How so?
Very little time. Well, the whole thing is that you still had to get the clothes. You had to put them in the washer.
You had to pre-treat all the stains because there was no such thing as...
The cycle runs, what, 40 minutes? Okay, so you save 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And the effort of doing it. And then you got to take it out. And when it was invented, there weren't dryers yet. So you'd hang them up and they would dry. And then you have to iron them. And then you put them back in the dressers.
I can't remember the last time I've actually ironed anything. That's probably not because I'm marveling at our modern fabrics, but because I'm a slovenly housekeeper. But that is interesting. I really can't think of the time I've done that.
So they chose between wearing their clothes longer and being a little ripe over doing the laundry that many times.
Like, how far am I willing to go today?
And how long are my friends willing to go?
All right, are you ready for Tell Me Something Good?
Yes.
Because this is a good one.
Is this one that starts off horribly? Okay, go ahead.
It's actually pretty sweet.
Right.
Huntington Beach PD, they got a phone call about a woman with dementia that had walked into a restaurant in Huntington Beach, and the woman was very sweet. She goes, I'm sorry. She goes, I think I'm supposed to be having dinner here, but I don't know who I'm meeting. I think my husband's waiting for me. And she was obviously very, very confused. And so they called police officers, and the 2 officers came, and she said, oh, look. And she called one of the gentlemen by her husband's name. She goes, you showed up. You were so late. And now at this point, as an officer, you can say, ma'am, we're going to take you and we're going to find out where you belong, ma'am. So let's just get going.
Don't do this.
He did. So the officer sat down and said, I am so happy to see you, and took her hand.
Oh.
And he said, tell me about your day, sweetie. What happened today? And he played the part of her husband and let her talk about her day, whatever she was envisioning in the past. Because you remember how powerful people with dementia and Alzheimer's, their memory often of their younger life is just razor sharp. They can still remember details. And so the woman who shot this photo, who I love, Allison Zimmer, she said you could see the woman light up, and it looked like she was 20 years younger, and she began to flirt a little bit with the officer. And his friend sat down too, and he introduced him as his friend, and that he was just joining them for dinner. And so they waited, and they had a nice dinner with this woman and took care of her, made her feel like, she was reliving this dinner with somebody she loved. And so they took her back to the precinct, and by then they had figured out where she belonged, and they were able to take her to her care center. And he gave her a kiss on the cheek, and the 2 officers came back the next week, and they brought her flowers, and he sat down, and he was her husband again for an afternoon.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ruin you, but I think it's the most gorgeous thing. But anyway, this is the prettiest photo to me. And just the look on this woman's face and how her face lit up and she became someone more for an afternoon. I just
Okay,
think it's
we
so
get
gorgeous.
it. We get it.
Okay, sorry.
Okay? We don't need any
I
more
don't
help.
usually break you this fast. I'm proud.
Let's roll the Columbus travel thing, okay? As soon as you can push that button, go ahead and push it.
Larry Gelwick's the getaway guru from Columbus
Is here.
Travel is
Look
here
at
with
him,
us.
right there.
Now, you're hitting something here that I don't think I ever thought I would see in my lifetime, because Cuba has been so mysterious and so like shrouded from us for so
there's
long.
a mystique about
Yeah.
Cuba. You go back to the Cuban Missile Crisis and Castro and Kennedy, and there's a misconception. Oh, let's go to Havana for the weekend like we do San Diego or Cancun.
Right.
Not the case. There are still a lot of travel restrictions, but Obama eased the restrictions, and it makes it much easier to get there now.
Oh.
Now you still have.
Oh, wait. Thanks, Obama.
Thank you very much. But there are 12 categories if you want to go as a tourist
Right.
to get into Cuba. And you have to meet one of these 12 categories. There's stuff like journalism and education and sports. Well, the new one is people-to-people contact. And that's what we at Columbus Travel are pioneering, is this people-to-people contact. In other words, you'll go on an excursion and you'll intermingle with the people. I mean, how cool is that? You may go into their homes, they'll show you around, you'll sit down and talk to them.
Oh, man.
And
that's
see
the,
the
best
city.
Part, that's the very best part
And
of any
now
travel,
is the time to visit Cuba because it's going to change.
Yeah. Now, is this a trip or a cruise?
Well, you can get there either way. The best way to see Cuba, because they don't have the infrastructure in the country yet, is on a cruise where your accommodations are first class, your meals are taken care of, you don't have the sanitary concerns with that. And the main place that you want to visit really is Havana. Most of the country is an agrarian agriculture, and I'm going to be personally hosting a cruise December 4th to the 8th. Now that is the best time. It's not hot and muggy like it is in the summertime. It's after Thanksgiving, so you're home for Thanksgiving, and plenty of time to get home for Christmas. It's a 5-day, 4-night cruise. We sail from Miami. We have a group rate of just $608.
Wow.
Now, air and taxes and visa are additional, of course. $608, and right now, that's about $100 below the lowest price you can find anywhere else. And what's nice about this one, especially for you, Todd, it's all inclusive, which means all your drinks, both alcohol and non-alcoholic, are included.
Really?
Your entertainment, of course, your meals are included. So we're going to spend 2 days in Havana. 2 days in Havana, and then sail to the Bahamas and spend a full day on a private island, Great Stirrup Cay, with all the amenities and meals. 5 days, 4 nights, December 4th to the 8th. $608.
I'm going to Cuba.
I want that.
I want that Cuba.
That's the one.
All right. I gotta go. I'm gonna go over to Columbus Travel.
ColumbusVacations.com.
I want to go to Cuba.
Seriously, I want that. I want that trip so badly. I think that would be amazing.
I just heard stories about someone who went to Cuba the other day, and it's totally amazing.
Well, you know, the cool thing is I like, because he's right, it's kind of tricky. There's certain programs you're allowed into the country under, and I love the person-to-person connection, because that's everything we try to do when we go on vacation anyways. We want to actually meet families and talk to them. And
the Chamber of Commerce here in Salt Lake, they actually went on a trip.
Really?
Yeah, on a business trip, and that's one of the reasons you can go, but not to exchange like what they're going to sell them, because they only make like $20 a month.
But I thought that was amazing. I mean, my very best memories ever of traveling are like when somebody or a family would invite me home to have dinner, or you got to talk to somebody and really find out what their life was like. And that's like such a mysterious little country.
It really is.
You know, you want to know more about it, and the fact you could go to Havana and see, literally, it's time frozen in the 50s.
Let me take you to Zimbabwe. I don't think they have an accent.
It did have a flair, though.
There's a pastor there, and he had a flock, his people, you know, and he wanted to show them his belief and how strong it was. So he took them down to the river, and he was going to walk on water.
Boy, there's no pressure.
Just like Jesus did. And
that's pressure.
So they all went down, and they talked for a while, and he prayed, and then he stepped out, and he went into the river, and 3 crocodiles ate him.
Could you repeat that one more time?
He tried to walk on water. He fell in the water, and then 3 alligators ate him. The only thing they found were his floating sandals.
Well, the sandals.
He should have stuck with his Elvis impersonation, maybe. But here's the funny part. It's a made-up story. Yes, ladies
Oh,
and
I was
gentlemen.
all excited.
The guy died. Really? You're excited
but-
about the guy dying?
No, I was actually really happy for the crocodiles because they got a nice lunch.
This is fake news.
Oh,
We don't believe in that here.
how did you find out?
It's just a funny story, and I couldn't help but read it and then tell you it was fake.
The worst thing we ever had in our entire history of radio together is we had one disastrous story that was out of China, and it was about a wrestling promoter who decided to pit Bengal tigers against a certain wrestling group, and we literally
Little people.
we hurt ourselves physically. I think I think I dislodged like a kidney.
Oh my
we were
gosh.
all laughing so
It
hard.
was fake news, but
and,
we didn't
and
care.
people kept referring back to it for like years and years afterwards, and we'd have to go. It really was. We found out it wasn't real, and they're
real.
like, "But it was so funny because I could picture all the shoes."
All right, so
And
let's talk weather,
But-
because we are going to have some bad
Yeah,
weather.
so once
coming in
again, if
tomorrow.
you were planning anything up in the mountains, they're saying chains. So it means you have to drag them back out of the garage. I'm really sorry. But they actually, it's at this
chains.
point where people literally do all the slide offs because it's the last thing you expect. And because it's been warm, then you go back to the ice and then the snow.
And once again, Wednesday's high is not a high temperature. It's 48 is not a high. 80's high.
Okay, now Thursday got depressing because it's rain, snow mix
Yeah.
again.
All right.
Ugh. So anyway, just be prepared. Eventually, it's going to have to become sunny at some point. You know, when Todd and I first joined the morning stream here, and we got to know a lot of the news people, one of the best things about working here is that we were from radio, and I thought we kind of had it hard until I met these guys because they're hard-bitten news guys, and they're out there on the street all the time, and
2
they're
o'clock.
finding things and they're filming things. And
Because crime doesn't happen at noon. It happens all night long. And
Apparently,
they're
huh?
up all the time, and they're running around, and they're all great photographers and videographers.
And so they have incredible stories to tell us. And one of the gentlemen we got to meet, and he was taking pictures of us. As a matter of fact, that's the one that we have on our cover of the Todd and Erin Morning Stream, is Jamie Cowen. Now, he's a photojournalist who's been around for a long time, and you probably have seen him at the scene of one thing or another because he's been so busy and worked so much. He passed away Monday in his Salt Lake City home. He was just 64 years old. He was a longtime fixture here. Everybody in Salt Lake media knew him. He's globe-trotting. He was a cameraman with all kinds of events all over the world. And he worked for KUTV for nearly 3 decades before he fell on hard times. As a matter of fact, at one point, he was nearly homeless, and our photographer friend Steve here heard about it, and he got in his car and started driving around in circles, going, "I'm going to find him." And he found him, and he took him to McDonald's, and they started talking again, and they brought him here to GetPartDaily.com.
Brought it back into the world.
Where
yeah.
he was taking beautiful pictures again. So, everyone gathered around him who had known this man and loved him for so long. And so the last years of his life were spent doing what he loved and what he was good at, and he was able to bring himself back into that vision that he had of himself.
All right, so we're Todd and Erin with the morning stream on GetPartDaily.com.
This video you're about to see was taken just 2 years ago. This is when Jamie returned to the Salt Lake City art scene, and he was chronicling his life on the streets. Jamie, we're going to miss you, and we'll see you down the road.
We all look at the world in a particular way, and Jamie's way, I think, reflects multiple things. One is his own viewpoint, and a lot of us can relate to it in our own personal lives, whether we've been through the hell he's been through. We've all been through some form of hell. I worked for PM Magazine years ago, and Jamie, toward the end, PM's shtick, whatever, was one of my cameramen, and I just had a really special affinity for his ability to make me look good on camera. My interaction with Jamie, plus with a lot of other folks in television, was the pressure they felt, the intense pressure, to capture something in 45 seconds. So I see that, and I see when the world stands still, when I look at these pictures, it's not standing still. I look at something like these pictures and I go, okay, I'll probably view the world downtown a little differently because of these pictures. So art does that. Good art does that. And I felt like the people I worked with at Channel 2, and people like Jamie, they were artists. They knew how to frame something, how to capture it, and make it work. Jamie took this notion of, I'm not well, but I'm not dead, came damn close to being dead, and with the help of a support group and a community, put this part of his life back together, and it's terrific. After Channel 2's decision to end PM, I went on with my full-time job as an educator, but I would see Jamie around doing stories. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and we all know what that's become. I don't want Salt Lake City to be like Detroit. His spirit, compared to where he was, and based on what I read about him, it's pretty hopeful. And I like hope. We need that. To read the story in the paper was just really, it was a real happy moment for me to realize that he was able to use his skill and his insights about the world to come out, and I love his stuff. I'm very glad he's back, very much so. I think it's great that the Senior Center and takes an aesthetic and artistic support of someone like Jamie.